Hello, I'm Brent Stafford, and this is Aftermath of Murder Survivor Stories, a multi-part video series produced in support of the National Victims of Crime Week. Aftermath of Murder goes behind the headlines as survivors share their stories about the loss, grief, trauma, and the hope for healing in the aftermath of murder. Joining us today is Eileen Mohan. Her 22-year-old son Christopher was murdered in 2007 in one of Canada's most notorious gangland killings, known as the Surrey Six Murders. Christopher was an innocent bystander and was shot in the head execution style just steps from their home. Thanks for joining us today, Eileen.
Thank you for having me.
So please tell us, what happened to Christopher that day in your apartment building?
We had just moved up to our building to the 15th floor from the 14th. And I didn't know that we lived across gangsters who were using that apartment as a dollar dope. Having been there only for 3.5 weeks, it was very hard for us to detect who these people were. The people who came to kill these people across the hall were from a gang called the Red Scorpion, headed by Jamie Bacon. They were told to kill everybody who was in the apartment. These people had drug dealing that went wrong, and they came to prove by killing these people off to say that we are to be reckoned with. Don't mess with us.
So what happened in the apartment when they came?
I had to go to work that day. Had I not left that day, it wouldn't be Series 6, it would be Series 7. But I left that day and I left my son home, and after the fireplace technicians did their work, Christopher was leaving for his basketball game, and right at the doorstep of our home, because he became a witness to the crime folding, he was shot and killed execution style.
Describe to me what you know about those last moments that Christopher had.
Now that I know his last moments, he actually told them, when they grabbed him into the apartment, he said to them, "What am I doing here? I don't know anybody over here." But before he could finish his sentence, he was shot. So it just happened all very quickly. What I'm proud to say was that he stood up for himself against all these guns and thugs who dragged him in just because he became a witness, and he died standing up for himself.
Tell me about Christopher.
Christopher and I had a very close relationship, best of friends, right from the day he was born to the day he died. He was this 6 feet tall teddy bear who loved to look after himself. He went to the gym. He loved his six-pack. He loved the way he looks. He was working towards becoming a professional trainer and then going into to do his civil engineering starting September of 2008.
So instead of embarking on all these
wonderful things,
you have a different last picture of Christopher.
In a casket, frozen, shot, cut open, sewn back again, lifeless. That's how he was delivered to me.
Did you take a look at the crime scene photos?
I did. Now I'm in the court system. Horrific, horrific. My son lying down, face down, shot in a pool of blood, among strangers.
He truly was an innocent bystander.
He was. Just so innocent.
How does it make you feel?
I was outraged. I was really outraged. I honestly, I felt like going and getting a gun myself and finding these people myself. Like, I needed answers. I needed to know who did this to the love of my life. I just melted down. It's just, you couldn't sleep, you couldn't eat. How can you sleep, how can you eat when you know that the killers of your son is out there?
And you're in court right now. It's a notorious case. It's being covered across the country. Fill us in about the state of the court process right now. Who has already pled?
Michael Lai pleaded guilty, and now we have in the system 2 people I'm attending cases for, and then I have Jamie Bacon, who's awaiting trial and probably will start sometimes in summer of this year. And then right after Jamie Bacon, once his case concludes, I have Sophon Sack case to go. So it will be like almost 10 years before I can see any conclusion to this.
You're a mom on a mission in the courtroom, aren't you?
Well, you know, my son's innocent life was taken. These people walked to the doorsteps of my home, stole my son's innocent life, and expected me to be quiet. I don't think I can be quiet. I want to be right there in their faces to say, you stole my son's life, but you cannot steal my presence in court to represent Christopher.
What do you think about the gangster lifestyle and culture?
They have this arrogant attitude just because they have a gun in their hands. They think they're most powerful. They don't contribute to the society. They don't pay their taxes. They create havoc in our lives. They steal our loved ones, and they laugh behind our backs. And I know that because I'm in the court system, and the accused who sit there, you can see them smiling away. They're all dressed up in suits and smiling away. Where's my son? Where is my son today?
So you have the justice system that had failed to incarcerate these people before the murders happened for other offenses. Do you hold anybody else responsible? Certainly the drug dealers across the hall were young and had a lot of money.
Well, I'm going to say this with a lot of respect, and I know it's going to hurt a lot of people, but I have to say, as I am a parent. I was in my son's business all the time. I had to know where he was going, even though he was 22 years old, I needed to know. You know, if your son is driving an Escalade, I would say, is he a doctor or a lawyer or a CEO? Where is the money coming from? I, as a parent, would have asked my son, Christopher, where did the money come from for you to, what are you doing? I think parents need to know and have a business to know what their children are doing. The neglect of that is, I don't buy that.
It led to your son's death in your mind?
Exactly, exactly. These people, because of the revolving door of the justice system, emboldened themselves and thinking they can kill Christopher and disappear into thin air and nothing will be done about it.
And what is being done could hardly be enough in the justice system right now, is it?
Well, I have to tell you, I am very appreciative that Christopher's trial is going on, because there are a lot of parents out there who still are not in the process, or don't even know where their loved ones are, or haven't even laid their loved ones to rest. I had that opportunity to do that. I have the opportunity to sit in court and see the justice process going through. And so I am grateful for all that. But there are things that can be improved in the justice system.
And what are those things?
Well, you know, I am going through the court system, and I would say I have to stand in long lines. There's no provisions where parents, immediate family members are put in front, go through the security checks, and then go into the courtroom. But then again, once I've gone past that, once we go into the courtroom, there's no allocated set of seats for immediate family members. So if all the good seats are taken, then we're regulated at the back. And you know, this is my son's murder case. It's very hard when you don't get to listen properly, you don't get to see properly, then it just defeats the purpose. And the other thing is that there's no room in the courtroom where parents like me and all the other parents, no matter whether it's homicide victims or rape victims or parents who are coming in for any other cases, where they can go and sit down and just be with themselves, you know, revive their thoughts and what they are going to face, and just have a private moment to themselves. At the moment, everything is public. Why can't we not have a quiet room where immediate family members, where we can go and sit down and just cry a silent tear or check out emails and just process what's going on?
And that's what you're advocating for right now.
I am, and I want to call it Christopher's Quiet Room. It will help so many families moving forward.
If you or someone you know has experienced a loss through homicide, go to the BC Victims of Homicide website at bcvoh.com to find available resources and information on upcoming support groups. If you're interested in volunteering or to make a donation, visit the BC Bereavement Helpline website. This has been Aftermath of Murder Survivor Stories.